You're at home, perhaps watching TV or reading a book, when suddenly your heart starts racing for no apparent reason. Its beats become rapid and irregular, and a sense of despair grips your chest. If you're over 60 and have experienced this frightening experience, know that you're not alone. What I've discovered observing patients in their 70s is something that can completely transform how you handle these moments of panic. There's a profound connection between our breathing and our heart rhythm that, when understood and applied correctly, can calm your heart in a matter of minutes. A few weeks ago, a 76-year-old man came to my office with this very situation. He told me he was sitting in his favorite chair, the one where he always read the morning paper, when his heart began beating uncontrollably. The sensation was so intense that he thought he was having a heart attack. His frightened wife was already reaching for the phone to call 911. But before she could dial, something extraordinary happened. Using a breathing technique he had learned years ago from his grandmother, he managed to calm his heart in less than 5 minutes. The transformation was so impressive that his wife watched in disbelief as he regained his composure. What fascinates me about medicine is how our ancient wisdom often aligns perfectly with modern scientific discoveries. Neuroscience today confirms that there are specific breathing techniques that activate our parasympathetic nervous system, responsible for calming our body and regulating our heartbeat. If you'd like to discover these 5 powerful breaths that can save you from moments of anxiety and panic, leave a yes in the comments. Your courage in seeking solutions to better manage your emotional health is the first step toward a calmer, more fulfilling life. The story of Mr. Roberto, as I'll call him, had a profound impact on me. At 76, he had decades of active life behind him, had been an accountant for 40 years, and had always prided himself on his discipline and control. But in recent months, these episodes of racing heartbeats were robbing him of his peace and confidence. During our conversation, I discovered something fascinating. He told me that his grandmother, an Italian woman who lived to be 94, always said that breathing was the key to calming any inner storm. She had taught him some techniques when he was a child, but as the years passed and the hustle and bustle of adulthood took over, he had completely forgotten these teachings. It was in a moment of desperation, when he felt his heart race alarmingly, that his memory brought back his grandmother's gentle voice, teaching him those special breaths. Instinctively, he began applying what he remembered, and to his surprise, it worked. What amazes me is how our body stores these memories. Neuroscience explains that when we breathe consciously and in a controlled manner, we stimulate the vagus nerve, which acts as a natural switch to calm our nervous system. It's as if our body has an internal emergency mechanism, just waiting for us to know how to activate it. Roberto contacted me because he wanted to better understand what had happened and learn other techniques. During our meetings, I realized he wasn't an isolated case. Many people over 60 face this same situation, and unfortunately, most aren't familiar with these simple yet powerful tools. What moves me most is seeing the transformation that occurs when someone discovers they have the power to calm their own heart. Roberto left the office with renewed confidence, knowing he had the tools he needed to face any moment of anxiety. The first breath I'll share with you is known as square breathing, and it has extraordinary power to stabilize both the heart and mind. Observing hundreds of cases over the years, I've found this technique works especially well for people who need structure and control during moments of panic. It works like this. You inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for 4 counts, exhale for a count of 4, and pause without breathing for another 4 counts. It's as if you're drawing a perfect square with your breath. What happens neurologically is fascinating. This regular rhythm sends signals to your brain that everything is under control, immediately activating your body's natural calming system. Roberto told me that when he started practicing this breathing technique, he felt like he was regaining control over something that had seemed uncontrollable. The first time his heart raced after learning the technique, he was able to slow it down in less than 3 minutes. The second breath is called cardiac coherence breathing, and it specifically works on synchronizing your heart and nervous system. You'll inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for 5 seconds, maintaining this steady rhythm. The key is gentleness. Don't force your breath. Let it flow naturally during this time. Scientific studies show that this specific technique creates a state of coherence between the heart and brain, where the two organs work in perfect harmony. It's like tuning a musical instrument. When everything is in tune, the music flows effortlessly. What amazes me is how our grandparents already knew this intuitively. Roberto told me that his grandmother always told us to breathe like the waves of the sea, with a steady, gentle rhythm. Modern science has only confirmed the wisdom she already possessed. The third technique I want to share is physiological sigh breathing, a relatively recent discovery in neuroscience that has yielded impressive results. You'll take 2 inhales through your nose, the second slightly deeper than the first, and then a long, controlled exhale through your mouth. What happens is extraordinary. This double inhalation activates tiny air sacs in your lungs that normally collapse during normal breathing. When they open, they send a direct signal to your brain to immediately calm down. It's like pressing a reset button on your nervous system. Roberto was fascinated when I explained the science behind it. He told me that he felt like he was releasing all the tension built up in his chest with that long exhale. In situations where his heart was racing, this technique became his favorite. The fourth breath is known as 4-7-8 breathing, an ancient technique that has gained modern scientific validation. You inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and exhale through your mouth for a count of 8, making a soft sound as if you were blowing out a candle. The magic of this technique lies in the prolonged exhalation. When we exhale for longer than we inhale, we automatically activate our parasympathetic system, which is responsible for calming the entire body. It's like putting on the brakes for your nervous system. During a memorable consultation, Roberto told me he used this technique during a particularly intense episode of anxiety. He was at the supermarket when his heart raced and discreetly applied 4-7-8 breathing. Within minutes, he completely regained his composure, even managing to finish his shopping with serenity. What moves me most is seeing how these techniques give people back a sense of control over their own emotional health. The fifth and final breath I want to teach is heart gratitude breathing, a technique that combines conscious breathing with positive emotional focus. You'll place one hand on your heart, breathe gently into that area, and as you do so, think of something or someone that awakens genuine gratitude in you. Neuroscience reveals that when we combine controlled breathing with positive emotions, we create a powerful synergy in our nervous system. The heart has its own nervous system with over 40,000 neurons, and when we nourish it with gratitude while breathing consciously, it responds with more harmonious and calm rhythms. Roberto told me he always used this technique thinking about his grandmother and the teachings she had left behind. The combination of breathing and this emotional memory created a profound sense of calm that lasted for hours afterward. What I observe in patients who master these 5 breaths is a significant transformation in their relationship with anxiety. They stop being victims of panic attacks and become empowered individuals, capable of calming their own hearts in any situation. Roberto now lives a completely different life. He told me he carries these techniques like an emotional first aid kit, knowing he always has powerful tools at his disposal to maintain his peace of mind. His wife also learned the breathing techniques, and now they practice together, strengthening not only their individual health but also their connection as a couple. The most beautiful transformation I witnessed was when he told me he felt confident again in doing things he'd stopped doing because of fear of heart palpitations. He resumed his morning walks, started attending social events again, and even started teaching these techniques to other friends his age. If this content is helpful to you, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. This way, You won't miss any of the techniques and discoveries I share to make your life after 60 more peaceful and fulfilling. Your emotional health deserves this special care. Something that deeply fascinates me is how our bodies possess self-healing mechanisms that we often overlook. Recently, neuroscience discovered that when people over 60 practice mindful breathing regularly, they not only improve their control over anxiety, but also strengthen their overall emotional recovery capacity. The mature brain, contrary to what many people think, has extraordinary plasticity. Each time you practice one of these breaths, you're literally rewiring neural circuits, creating new pathways to calm and well-being. It's like paving smoother roads for your emotions to travel. Roberto shared a beautiful discovery with me during one of our meetings. He noticed that when he practiced breathing in the morning, as a preventative measure, his episodes of racing heartbeats during the day drastically decreased. It was as if he were creating a solid foundation of tranquility that accompanied him throughout all his activities. Share this video with someone you love who may be experiencing similar moments of anxiety and racing heart. Sometimes a simple technique can completely transform a loved one's quality of life. I want to share something I consider fundamental to the success of these breathing techniques: the importance of the environment and the time chosen to practice. Observing patients like Roberto, I've noticed that those who create a small ritual around their practice achieve much more consistent results. Roberto developed the habit of practicing his breathing in the same chair where he experienced his first frightening episode. He told me it was his way of reframing that space, transforming a place of fear into a sanctuary of calm. This courageous attitude of facing fear with healing tools deeply resonates with me. Consistency is another crucial element. Don't wait until crisis moments to use these breaths. Practice them daily, even when you're feeling well. It's like keeping your calm muscles strong and ready to act when needed. An important discovery I make with my patients is that each person responds better to a specific technique. Roberto, for example, particularly identified with heart coherence breathing and gratitude breathing. His wife prefers physiological sigh breathing. The important thing is to try them all and discover which ones resonate best with your body and personality. During emotional emergencies, when your heart is racing, I recommend always starting with the technique you're most familiar with. This isn't the time to experiment. It's time to apply what you already know works for your body. Roberto created a personal sequence that works perfectly for him. In moments of greatest despair, he begins with the physiological sigh breath for quick relief, then moves on to the 4-7-8 breath for deep calm, and finishes with the gratitude breath for emotional stability. Let us know in the comments which of these 5 breathing techniques you plan to try first, or if you already know a similar technique that works for you. Your experience might be just the encouragement someone else needs to start taking better care of their emotional health. Roberto's journey taught me that no matter how old we are, we can always learn new tools to improve our quality of life. At 76, he discovered the power to calm his own heart, to transform moments of panic into opportunities for growth and inner strength. These 5 breaths I shared with you today aren't just techniques, they're keys to a calmer, more confident life. Square breathing is for when you need structure and control. Heart coherence breathing is for harmonizing heart and mind. Physiological sighing is for immediate relief. The 4-7-8 technique is for deep calm, and gratitude breathing is for nourishing your heart with positive emotions. What moves me most is knowing that you now carry with you an arsenal of powerful tools. You no longer need to feel helpless in the face of racing heart episodes. You have the knowledge and techniques necessary to quickly regain your peace of mind. Remember that regular practice is the key to success. Don't just wait for moments of crisis. Make these breaths a natural part of your day, like brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. If this content touched your heart and could be helpful to others, share it with your friends and family. Leave a like so the algorithm can show this video to more people who can benefit from these techniques. and subscribe to the channel to receive more content on emotional health after 60. In the comments, tell me about your experience with these breaths or leave any questions. I read all comments and respond personally whenever possible. In the next video, I'll share specific techniques for dealing with nighttime anxiety, a topic many of you have requested. Take care of yourself with affection. You deserve to live with peace and joy, regardless of your age.